Hey guys, this is co-op and this is a continuation to my Abyss series. Okay, so you'll notice floor 11, if you get electro applied, you lose energy. You need to be able to cleanse it. Okay, cryo damage is increased by 75%. Take advantage of it if you can. Not everyone can, don't worry about it. Gear quality is more important. For chamber 1, first half you have a Hydro Abyss Mage with some Electro Hydro Slimes. Second half has Hilichurls with big shields. Okay. Chamber 2, first half, more Hilichurls with more shields. So just be mindful. And the second half has Electro Assassin Mage and a Fatui Agent. Also, they're accompanied by their little gang, Treasure Hoarders. The fun part is this is a tower defense, so bring crowd control to reduce the damage to the pillar and protect it with your life. Well, not really, don't. Now, for Chamber 3, has the Fatui brothers. You have Geo, Electro, Hydro, and Nemo. Prioritize the Electro with Ice and a Claymore for that Geo. Hydro, don't really need to worry about it. You focus that down first. Second half has the Pyro Agent and Electro Assassin Mage. Now moving on to team comps. First half, I picked Zhao with Sucrose, Chungyun, Diona. Second half is Razor, Mona, Albedo, and Bennet. Our first team has Zhao as main character. He's a very selfish character, so you need to be mindful of that. The entire team you pick has to support him. Sucrose is there, acts as a battery, and as a second Anemo character for the synergy. Her Q is a crowd control. Useful, very useful for Chamber 2, and you'll see later. Chungyun's E converts Zhao's auto into cryo, taking advantage of the divergence for cryo damage when he's not in his Anemo form. He's also a Claymore character. This is very good for breaking shields. And lastly, he's a cryo character. This allows him to share his energy or cycle with Diona. Okay, Diona's ult heals, but it's high cost. So it does help you have a second cryo character. This also creates a crit rate buff for Anemo characters, right? Or Zhao in particular. In Anemo, what it does is it spreads the cryo. And you'll notice that when he's in his ult form, it spreads to the other characters, which normally aura elements, they get eaten up. But with the way Anemo works, it spreads it. So it actually amplifies this crit rate buff. Okay. And lastly, her shields. Her shields are good for cleansing that electro debuff so you don't lose all the energy that you've saved up. And it also reduces stagger and knockdown. Oh, I almost forgot. Notice Sucrose, Chungyun, and Diona's level. Level 20 is Sucrose, right? Chungyun 60, Diona 70. I don't believe it's worth leveling up Sucrose past level 20 or 40. Well, it's up to you. I just believe that she performs as a battery for Zhao at level 20 just as well as if she were level 90. Yes, she'll do more damage, but for every second that Zhao is out of the field, your DPS is going to be decreasing. So this forces you to keep Zhao out on the field as much as possible, and you only use the support characters the way they're intended to be used, which is to battery, or for Chungyun's case, right, level 60, he's there to create the cryo field, converts Zhao's auto to cryo, decrease cooldown rate, and increases attack speed. I think this is if you see 2. And for Diona, she does her job by, creating shields. For the second team comp, I have Razor, my favorite DPS character. Auto attack, 4-star, claymore, knocks everything around. It's medium sized, small sized. Big ones with the ult, I believe they still do get staggered. Yeah, even that cryo miniature still gets smacked around. Albedo is there to create shields. This allows Razor, or enables him, to just permanently attack without being staggered, right? And at the same time too, my Razor is built with a bolide set, which amplifies shields. Most people probably build Razor with Gladiator set. Personally, I would trade 18% attack from, being staggered. The risk of being staggered is way more important to cover. 18% attack is minimal. If you lose 2, 3, 4, or 5 auto attacks because you get staggered in 30 seconds, your DPS output will be way lower than somebody who doesn't get staggered the entire time. Okay? And these interruptions are super annoying, not fun with auto attack characters. Mona, I put her in this team. Well, she creates Omen, which is a big bubble. This allows me to CC the characters for Chamber 2, which is tower defense. And Bennet, well, he's Bennet. He goes Bulkin to Bulkin, and he's also very broken. Okay? And he heals. So, with that in mind, I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you on the other side. Oh, I forgot. Guys, please like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. If you found this helpful, also share it. Floor 11 is a pain in the butt. It's here to stay, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, please show your support so I can continue to make more videos and help more people. If you have suggestions, please leave it in the comments for me so that way I can address them in the future. I want you to take notice how I use chungyun to cause cooldown reduction, and I use shield to protect Zhao while using his ult to mitigate knockdown. And as I get zapped, I lose energy, but the mobs dying allows me to cycle back when I need to my other support. And as they rotate their ults, Zhao will get his energy back to full. I go straight to the Abyss Mage here, as Anemo spreads the element, and the Electro slimes actually help me break the Abyss Mage's shield. You'll see him get electric shock here occasionally with the swirl. And I proceed with cycling my skills. So take note here, I wait for them to gather before proceeding to burst. You can do this with any team comp. It's just ideal that you gather them. And here we proceed to the next round. Similar concept, except they have shields. Here I take advantage of Albedo's Geo Field, and the crystallized reactions just amplifies Razor's ability to break the shields with his claymore. And I attempt to use Mona as a taunt to keep them relatively in the same area. As you can see, this is very difficult to do just because they constantly charge at you. But you can actually make this easier to fight them near the corners. So that way when they charge towards you and you're Depending on your placement, they'll just run straight to the wall, not going anywhere, making it easier to DPS. It actually almost reminds me of those bullfighters, and you just try to keep them in the ring. Chamber 2 by far is the most difficult for floor 11. Protecting the Geoconstruct is very difficult. Characters like Zhao excel as they have large AoE ult, similar to Mona, right? And what you want to do is protect the construct by constantly hitting the mobs that are targeting the construct. And you'll notice here in a second I use Sucrose to distract the range and protect the construct from this miniature. We got whacked once, but I stagger it right here with chungyun, and I proceed to move back to the ranged mobs as soon as I clear the middle. Right. Notice as well with the ult, you try to maximize the damage and the reach by hitting them with the tip or the edges of the ult, so you can reduce the amount of movement and travel time required to start your damage rotation. Also notice, I take advantage of having weak characters and using them as battery to prepare for the next floor. Here I have one mob left, 17 out of 18, but I can continually generate energy because my support characters don't do too much damage. I would not be able to do this if I had characters that were really built. For Chamber 2, you'll notice it's tower defense still. And you want to focus down resistance. If she applies the electric triangle on that Geoconstruct, you have to restart. So you want to, as much as possible, clear the treasure hoarders and then stagger the assistant mage as best you can. Here, Razor does the job fairly well, and she just basically gets pummeled and is helpless. Notice here, once the assistant mage dies, I use Mona's ult, and the Omen traps the treasure hoarders and gives me time to DPS them down. If your ult is not up, you can proceed to use her E as the treasure hoarders approach the Geoconstruct. This will divert their attention and prevent them from damaging the Geoconstruct, just like that hoarder. You can also use Venti, Sucrose, or even Amber, or Ganyu if you have any of those characters. Just make sure you time the utilization of the skill to when they approach that Geoconstruct. Once they're dead, this Venti agent is sitting duck. For Chamber 3 first half, you have the Fatui brothers. You want to focus the Nemo boxer first, as he punches you anytime you trigger an elemental reaction with his Anemo shield. Then you want to prioritize the Hydro gunner, which proceeds to heal all of the other Fatui brothers. The Electro hammer guy, straightforward. Chungyun takes care of this and just destroys his shield with his ease, and Diona should help with this as well. Notice here, once he dies, I go straight to the Hydro gunner and I wait for the Electro hammer guy to run to me, and I switch to Zhao's ult and I proceed to burst. Once I notice that the Hydro gunner is dead, I proceed to try to burst the Geo, as he creates shields and this makes it more difficult for you to burst the other guy. The Electro Fatui, as soon as you see him, you just switch to Chungyun and you stun him and stagger him out of his shield, and you proceed to rotate through your ults and your Qs. I want to re-emphasize here as well that my support characters are low level, but they still perform the function that they need to do. Aura modifier, energy battery, you name it, they do their job. Save your resources for your main carry. Chamber 3 second half has 2 system mages, 2 agents. It's a DPS check, so you need to maximize your damage by either overlapping both units or using AoE characters that have large fields that can burst both simultaneously. Personally, I use Mona or Zhangling as I like their sustained ult or large range ult. You can also use Zhongli or Yanyu. It's up to you. Whatever characters that you have, use them at your arsenal. The most important thing is multi-target and being able to burst them simultaneously. I did choose on purpose Razor and Albedo here to just showcase the strength of shield characters. You want to prioritize the characters that you do have built, especially for the second half, as it is a pain chasing these guys down, as you can see here. The more you have to chase them, the more time gets wasted. Ideally, you wait for situations like this where they are close together and you save your burst and you attempt to overlap the damage so you can basically increase your damage output. Once one of them is gone, it's straightforward and you just proceed to burst the last one.